I used to manage a small, traditional espresso bar in Naples. The kind where locals walk in, order, and down their coffee in 30 seconds before rushing off to work. One morning, an American woman joined the line, holding everyone up as she recited, "I'll have a venti, half-sweet, non-fat caramel macchiato with 1 pump of vanilla and extra drizzle." The entire bar went silent. I blinked and said gently, "Signora, we serve espresso or cappuccino." She frowned, as if I hadn't understood. "No, listen," she said slowly, "you take milk, steam it, but make sure it's non-fat." Before she could finish, a man behind her sighed and muttered in English, "Lady, this is a cafe, not a chemistry lab." She stormed out, complaining about rude service and backward coffee culture. Meanwhile, everyone else just enjoyed their espresso in peace. My friend works as a yeoman warder at the Tower of London, one of those historic guides in full uniform. One afternoon, an American family approached him, and the father, looking dead serious, asked, "So, when's the next election for king?" I bet those campaigns get crazy. My friend, maintaining his professional calm, explained that the monarchy isn't elected, it's inherited. The man frowned. "Wait, so you don't get to vote? That seems really unfair. You guys should try democracy, it's been working great for us." Then, as if to change the subject, he pointed toward the crown jewels and asked, "Are those real diamonds or just props for tourists?" My friend said that after that conversation, he needed a double tea. At the Blue Lagoon Spa in Iceland, an American man stood on the edge of the water, refusing to go in. He waved down a staff member, looking genuinely anxious. "Excuse me, is this water heated by, like, a nuclear reactor? Because it's glowing blue, and I don't want to get radiation poisoning." The staffer blinked, trying not to laugh. "Sir, it's geothermal, heated by the earth, not a power plant." The man didn't look convinced. "So, there's no nuclear stuff at all? You're absolutely sure? Because my wife's worried it could mess with fertility." He eventually got in, but you could tell he was ready to sprint out at the first bubble. I once watched an American family experience a German grocery store checkout for the first time. The cashier was scanning their items at lightning speed: bread, milk, cereal, done. The mom started panicking, trying to bag everything as fast as it flew toward her. "Can you please slow down?" she pleaded. The cashier simply pointed to the designated bagging counter beyond the register. They paid, bewildered, then awkwardly dragged their pile of groceries over to repack everything. The father looked around, frustrated. "And we have to pay for bags? What kind of scam is this? This is the most inefficient system I've ever seen." Meanwhile, every German in line stood there, silently judging. I used to guide hiking groups through a national park in Queensland, Australia. One morning, we spotted a cassowary, a massive, prehistoric-looking bird with bright blue feathers and dagger-like claws. Before I could even begin my safety briefing, a young American woman gasped, "Oh my God, it's like a rainbow turkey. I need a selfie." She started walking toward it, granola bar in hand. I lunged forward, grabbing her arm and yelling, "Stop. That bird can gut you with one kick. It's one of the most dangerous animals in Australia." She looked offended. "Well, it didn't look dangerous. You guys should really put up warning signs." I pointed to the massive, bright yellow sign right beside us showing a cassowary kicking a stick figure. She said nothing and walked away, still pouting. When I lived in Japan, an American exchange student down the hall had a complete meltdown. The post office had tried to deliver a package while he was out and left a delivery slip, standard practice in Japan. He stomped into the common room shouting, "Why didn't they just leave it at the door? This is ridiculous. I have to go pick it up now? What is this, the Stone Age?" We tried to explain that it's about security. No one leaves parcels unattended because theft is extremely rare. He didn't get it. That's so inconvenient. In the US, they trust people. Here, they're holding my package hostage. He marched off, muttering something about filing a complaint with the embassy. On a train from Madrid to Seville, I overheard an American couple chatting loudly. The husband unfolded a map of the US and said, "You know, Spain's nice, but it's really just a cheaper version of Mexico." His wife nodded, "Totally. The food's similar, the people speak the same language. It's like they copied Mexico for tourists. He added, yeah, and the portions are way smaller, it's like Diet Mexico. A few Spanish passengers nearby just exchanged slow, painful looks and buried their faces in their hands. It was the quietest ride I've ever taken. My uncle is a police officer in a small Dutch town. One day, he stopped an American man who had run a red light, on a bicycle. When my uncle began writing the ticket, the man shouted, "You can't do this." "I know my rights. I plead the fifth." My uncle blinked. "The fifth? What?" The man grew angrier. "I want to speak to the US Embassy. This is illegal detainment of an American citizen. All for a €60 fine." My uncle said it was the most confusing arrest paperwork he's ever had to file. When I worked for a phone company in South Korea, an American businessman came storming in, furious. "My phone doesn't work here," he barked. "This is the latest iPhone, it's American-made. It should work everywhere." I calmly explained that his device wasn't compatible with local network bands and offered to rent him a temporary phone. He slammed the counter. "Impossible. Are you telling me your Korean network can't handle American technology? This is a disgrace." Then, with complete seriousness, he added, "Get me your manager. I need to make a call, in a first world country." The irony was staggering. I once guided a tour at the pyramids of Giza. As I explained how the Great Pyramid was built around 2560 BC, a man from Arizona wiped sweat from his forehead and interrupted me. "Okay, that's cool and all, but where's the elevator? Or at least an escalator? My knees aren't what they used to be." I blinked. "Sir, it's a 4,000-year-old tomb, not a modern office building." He frowned. "Well, that's a major design flaw. You'd get way more visitors if you made it handicap accessible." He was genuinely disappointed that ancient Egyptians hadn't considered tourist convenience. My grandmother runs a tiny family trattoria in a village outside Rome. The kind of place where everything's homemade, and the menu hasn't changed in 50 years. One evening, an American family came in, and their teenage son ordered her famous lasagna. When it arrived, he looked at it skeptically and asked, "Can I get some ketchup?" I translated, and my grandmother froze mid-step. Then her face went through grief, rage, and disbelief all at once. She started speaking rapid Italian, saying this was an insult to her, her ancestors, and all the saints in heaven. I tried to save the situation by explaining, "Sorry, sir, we don't have ketchup. This recipe is sacred." He just shrugged. "Okay, got any ranch dressing?" I've never seen my grandmother pray for patience so fast in her life. I was working customer service at a train station in Switzerland when an American couple rushed up, clearly flustered. "Hi," the woman said, "we missed the 10:15 train to Geneva. Can you have it back up for us?" I blinked, thinking I misheard. "Back up?" "Yes," she repeated impatiently, "just call the conductor and tell him to reverse the train to pick us up." We were only 2 minutes late. I tried to explain that trains don't exactly do 3-point turns on command. Her husband then chimed in, "Well, in America, they hold the plane if you're late. That's just good customer service." I couldn't tell if he was joking or serious. Sadly, I'm still not sure. Back in university in the UK, I had an American classmate in my international politics course. One day, he raised his hand and said, completely seriously, that the United States should have a permanent advisory seat in every other country's parliament. His reasoning? Since America's decisions affect the whole world, we should have a say to help other countries make smart choices that align with global stability. The room fell silent. The professor just stared at him for a few seconds, then said, "Let's move on." I don't think I've ever seen an entire classroom simultaneously lose faith in diplomacy. I was bartending in an old pub in Dublin when an American tourist ordered a pint of Guinness. After a few moments, he started tapping his fingers impatiently. "Why is it taking so long?" I explained that Guinness is poured in 2 parts. You have to let it settle before finishing the pour. He frowned. "That's just bad business. You should get one of those soda gun things and just shoot it straight into the glass. You'd make way more money." He then began lecturing me on how to optimize the bar's efficiency. I smiled, poured the pint properly, and thought, Some things are meant to take their time. At a peaceful hot spring in rural Japan, the rules of silence were clearly posted, in Japanese and English. Moments after entering, an American family started splashing, laughing, and chatting loudly like they were at a water park. An elderly man gently shushed them. The father rolled his eyes and said, "Hey, we're on vacation, buddy. We're here to have fun. It's not a library." He genuinely thought the rule for quiet was optional, just a polite suggestion rather than a sacred part of the experience. Needless to say, they didn't stay long, and neither did anyone else after that. On a flight from Dubai to New York, I was seated next to an American woman. When the flight map showed we were crossing Iraq, she suddenly panicked. She pressed the call button and told the flight attendant, "You need to tell the pilot to go around. That's a war zone, they could shoot us down." The attendant calmly explained, "Ma'am, we're flying at 38,000 feet in an international air corridor. It's completely safe." The woman was unconvinced. "I don't care, I'm an American. That makes me a target." She spent the next hour glaring at the flight map like it personally offended her. My cousin works at the Louvre in Paris. He once overheard an American man stop in front of the Mona Lisa, study it for about 10 seconds, and say, "Huh. It's way smaller than I thought. And honestly, the picture quality isn't great, my iPhone takes sharper shots." Then he turned to a guard and asked, "Do you have, like, a higher resolution version of this somewhere? Maybe a 4K replica?" The guard didn't even blink. Just smiled politely. The kind of smile only the French have perfected when silently judging you. When I worked at a hotel in Helsinki during the summer, I got a late-night call from an American guest. "My curtains are broken," he complained. "They're not blocking out the light." I said, "Sir, it's June. The sun doesn't really set this time of year. It's called the midnight sun." There was a long pause, then he said, completely serious, "So your country just doesn't have night in the summer? That's insane. How do you people sleep? You should really fix that." I wished him good luck and hung up before he could suggest filing a daylight complaint. An American business representative came to our office in India for a partnership meeting. Every time our senior manager, a man in his 60s, said something agreeable, the American would pat him on the head and say, "Good job, buddy." Everyone in the room froze. In our culture, touching someone's head is incredibly disrespectful, but the American kept doing it, thinking he was being friendly and casual. Let's just say, the deal did not go through. On a walking tour of Pompeii, the guide was explaining the eruption of Mount Vesuvius when an American woman raised her hand. So, did the people here not realize they were building their city next to a volcano? Seems like a really dumb idea. The guide smiled patiently and said, "Ma'am, this happened nearly 2,000 years ago. There were no volcanologists then." She frowned. "Still, feels like poor planning." The group collectively stared into the middle distance, absorbing the full power of that sentence.